Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today we're taking a look at the Tapirus, I guess it's Tapirus, Spork Tactical. That's exactly what it says, Spork Tactical. So apparently it's not a tactical spork, which is good news, because it's got some weird things going on for it, but Tapirus, when I looked it up, I thought it sounded familiar. I think it's a kind of anteater. So it comes in this nice little case, which I just broke the strap on just literally a moment ago when I was doing the photo. So, yeah, don't rely on that. Let's open this up. This comes in two colors. You got green, which is what I got, which is kind of like a spit pea green or an OD green. And the other one is a red orangey color that looks like this. Kind of looks like, I don't know, burnt plastic. So I'll throw that out to the side. And this is your Tapirus Spork Tactical. Now this is a decent spork. It worked just fine for things like mountain house, breakfast skillets. You know, it gets all the way in. You know, like that's where the main section is. You'll get all the way to the bottom just fine. And if you're a person that likes MREs, it'll fit into one of those as well, just fine. So, fun times, right? Alright, so why do I think this is kind of odd? Well, it's all plastic, and it has a lost opportunity to make this better to save a buck. Right? So, it's plastic, it's definitely flexible. I haven't been able to break it yet. It's got a decent, I don't know if you want to call it like a throat, but it's decently deep in order to get something like a soup with it. But this is a spork, right? It's a fork and a spoon, but it's tactical. How is it tactical other than it being green in this case? Well, if you look carefully at the handle, there's a seam here and there's a seam there, and then there's these little lines on it, and this one's got a little square on it. Now, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to flip this upside down. So clearly they were left-handed when they designed this, because the emblem is the wrong way around. But if you give it a little pull, there's a knife on the inside. Now, no idea what kind of steel it is. It says some kind of stainless steel, but I doubt it. But I got a little serrated knife here, which is decently sharp. A little black knife. It's on the inside there. The downside is it makes noise. But that's not the worst part of it. You'll actually notice I have a slight dent in it. I tried to use it to open a can, and I dented the steel, so it's a little off. You'll also notice there's some lines on the top for another reason. Let me take the back end of this off. Back end is a ferrocium rod, right? And this fits in that little hole there and rattles. So, not thrilled with that. There's too much movement in that direction. But, so other than that, it's not horrible. I mean, if you wanted to hide a knife in a spork, I guess that's the way to go. But why have a ferrocium rod if you can't use it? It's too smooth. So, you can see I've been playing with it. See how that's all worn away there a little bit. You're trying to start something. There is a part on the knife that will work, but not reliably, which is this very last serrated section right there. It does grip there, but I haven't been able to start a fire with it. I couldn't get any sparks off the end of that. It just kind of removes a little bit of material, and that's it. It's too smooth. So that's a downside. So other than the knife not working for the ferrocium rod, I'm not sure what the little button is for. I'm assuming that's the locking mechanism that holds the blade into the handle. So I'm thinking that it's got probably a little piece of tang going to it, and they use this plastic notch and through plastic stud on that side to lock the blade in place, because the blade doesn't move on that side of the handle. So that's at least decent. But the ferrocium rod rocks around all over the place. So it's noisy. Both directions. Mostly side to side, but also up and down. So, and it's got this tiny little piece of paracord at the end. So what is the lost opportunity here? Well, one, I have a nice 90-degree back on the spine here, so you can use the ferrocium rod appropriately. Two is the paracord on the back. It's regular paracord. What I would have done is I would have gotten the survival kind, the stuff that's got the wax jute on the inside. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and all you have is your Spork Tactical on you, you can still start a fire with a little bit of the tinder that you'd be carrying with you. So yeah, so if I decide to keep this, I have to decide if I'm going to keep it or give it away. And if I do give it away, I'm probably going to modify it to where it'll have a straight back that can be used to use the ferrocium rod. But I will also probably put a survival style paracord on the back that has jute in it. I mean, this doesn't even get my hand this way on the back. I would also be happy if it had a little bit of jimping in it, just to make it easier to use if you're cutting like a steak or whittling with it or something. Just a little bit better control. I mean, this doesn't... Yeah, it's sharp, but it's not, because it's serrated, but otherwise it does make a nice fine finger scratcher. But that's about it. So I know it says it's stainless steel. Again, I don't know what kind of steel it is. It is really cheap. I will leave a link in the description to where I found it on Amazon. Maybe somebody will have a use for it, or maybe somebody would like to modify it. Might be worth modifying, and at that point then you'll have an extra ferrocium rod, because 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I guess that'll work in that case. If it really came down to it, I could always use a striker off another ferrocium rod I have. So all my kits use, pretty much this is the ferrocium rod I use. This is actually from Countycom. It's got the nice cordage in the back. And there's the striker, which is essentially a hacksaw blade with a can opener. And there's your scraper on the end. So that would probably work a lot better. If for some reason I ran out of that, which I doubt. This one obviously is not used because it's a backup kit. But it's always an option. So that too. That's the other problem. It's a little on the slick side. So if your hands are wet or sweaty, then that might be a problem. Other than that, by the way, if you, like I had showed you this in the beginning, if you try to put it backwards, it doesn't fit. It kind of sits off-sided. I'm assuming that there's a indent on the inside that only makes it go one direction. So that's it. That is the Tapirus Spork Tactical. As a spork on its own, it's fine. The knife needs work, the ferrocium rods needs work, paracord needs work. But for the spork in itself, it's nice and long. Green is not a bad color, and it's comfortable to use otherwise. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad. So that's it. So thank you for watching. Questions or comments, leave them below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. It means a lot to me. Click on the link and buy something off it. I do get commission, and that commission goes right back to the channel to get really cool gear. I also try to bring gear that is different than all the other channels, just to really show you what's out there and to try something different. So thank you for watching and have a glorious night.